always thought my love for horror movies like Michael Myers and Freddy Krueger had inured me to fear. But nothing could have prepared me for that night. I'm 27, a nurse, and I was home alone, convinced that the worst things lived only on the screen. The power cut was abrupt, a silent thief stealing away my sense of security. The screen went blank, and I was left sitting in the dark, the only sound my own heartbeat. I tried to laugh it off, fumbling for my phone to use as a makeshift torch. But laughter died in my throat when I heard Max, my dog, whining from the living room. I called out to him, my voice shaking. As I stepped into the hallway, the darkness felt oppressive, alive with whispered threats. Moving cautiously, I headed to the kitchen. Every appliance seemed to morph into a menacing figure as I passed. Max's whining grew more urgent, and I clutched a kitchen knife, my thoughts racing to intruders. The normalcy of my home had turned into a scene from my nightmares. The silence was suddenly pierced by a voice. My name whispered as if from nowhere. My heart stopped, terror rooting me to the spot. I told myself it was my imagination, a trick of the silent house. But the voice, sounding like my name, persisted, chillingly close. Then, the power surged back, a flicker of light that seemed to banish the voice. I exhaled, a laugh nearly escaping, thinking it was over. But the relief was short-lived. The power cut again, this time plunging me into an even deeper darkness. The voice returning, mocking. I fled upstairs, away from the kitchen, away from the darkness that seemed to chase me. The voice growing louder with each step. In my bedroom, the voice seemed to be everywhere and nowhere. I needed a hiding place, somewhere to wait out the night. The closet seemed like my only option. I squeezed in between the coats and boots, pulling the door shut, enveloping myself in darkness once more. As I sat there, the whisper of my name stopped. The house was silent, but for my ragged breathing and the pounding of my heart. I must have fallen asleep, because I awoke to the gray light of dawn. The house was silent. The terror of the night before seemed like a dream. I didn't stay in the house after that night. My sister took me in, her presence a balm to the raw edges of my nerves. It was weeks before I could even think of returning. When I did, my sister came with me. Her support, a tangible force against the memories that haunted the darkness. Since then, there have been no more whispers, no more unexplained voices in the dark. But the fear lingers, a constant undercurrent to my solitude. Sometimes, when the house creaks, I hold my breath, half expecting to hear my name in the wind. A whisper from the abyss. The rational side of me tries to rationalize it away, but the fear, the memory of that voice, has a way of creeping into the quiet moments, unbidden. What scares me the most isn't the possibility that it might happen again, but the understanding that fear can take something ordinary and twist it into something terrifying. Now, I live with the knowledge that the line between reality and nightmare is thin, and at any moment, it could blur again. It's the not knowing that's the worst. The endless what-ifs that circle my mind like vultures over a carcass. Some nights, I lie awake, pondering if I'll ever have the courage to face that voice, to confront the darkness that whispered my name. Until then, I'll keep searching for answers, looking for the key to a lock I'm not sure I want to open. But the story doesn't end. There's no neat conclusion where fear is vanquished and normalcy returns. It just persists. And maybe that's the true horror, not the jump scares the gore of movies, but the quiet, insidious invasion of doubt and dread into the mundane. As I live with this unease, every shadow holds a question, every silence a possibility of return to that terror-filled night. So I wait, and I watch, and I wonder, with every whisper of wind, with every creak of the house, is it back? For now, the answer is always no, but the question itself has become my haunting, a story without end.